Hi everybody, Carol here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to be making an explosion box card, and it has several layers to it. A 5-inch layer, a 4.5-inch layer, a 4-inch layer, and a 3.5-inch layer. It's kind of like peeling an onion. So you might want to refer to this sheet later. It kind of explains a little more how it works. But my first layer is going to be black. I'm going to make this where it's for men or women, and so I'm trying to keep it just black, white, red, and silver. Now, I don't have a 15-inch sheet of paper, and these squares go across in threes. So if I had 5-inch squares, 3 of them, it would be 15, and so I didn't have a 15-inch sheet of paper, so I am cutting my little squares up. The first one I did make 5 by 10. I could get a 10-inch piece out, and it's my base and one wall, or one side, and then I had to make 3 more sides, and with a tab, a 1/2-inch tab, and I'm cutting a little wedge, as you can see there, off all the tabs, and you'll see me do it again. Here, the white part of the white layer, doing the same thing. It is the 4.5-inch layer, and the base for it, I can get another 8 inches, 9 inches, 4.5, so I can get the base and one side, and then again I have to make 3 more sides with that little 1/2-inch tab, and I'm scoring that. And I'm going through it quickly because this is a long video, but you can go back and look at that diagram. But and then when I got to the third one, which is 4 inches, I did have a 12-inch sheet of paper. 3 of those would be 12 inches. So what I did was I took my 12-inch piece of paper to the trimmer, and I came in 4 and cut up to 4. And then I went to the other side and cut down 4 to the 4-inch mark, and came up from the bottom 4 inches to the 4-inch mark. Now my trimmer's not plastic, so I can't see exactly where the lines are, but I'll finish the cutting with my scissors. But here I am coming from the other side and making that connection, that corner, and cutting up from the 4-inch side to the 4-inch side. I'm showing you the little flap there, how that's to the 4 inches, which you can see. And I will go back and discard those 4 corners. Of course, you can use those little squares of paper other places. But so I'm going to go back and finish my trimming with my scissors, and you'll see all of these end up making kind of a plus sign. And you will score in the middle baseline area, which you'll see here at the end of each one of the sides, and that gives you your center base. They're all the same size, each layer, whether it's 5 or 4.5 or 4 in this case. Yes, and now the last one is a beautiful piece of silver metallic paper, and since now I'm down to 3.5, guess what? I can get 3.5 out of one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So 3.5 and a 3.5 and 3.5 or 10.5. So an 11 sheet of paper, I'll actually have to go back and cut off 1/2 of an inch. But you'll see that in a minute. You do not have to be a mathematician to do this. You just kind of have to put a little thought into it sometimes. Or the way I'm doing it, if you have 15-inch sheets of paper, you don't have to do it at all. So anyway, so here I am measuring the 3.5 and scoring it, and going over to the other 3.5, which will be 7. And so 7 and 3.5 again puts you to that 10.5-inch mark, which leaves a 1/2 inch hanging off of that 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I'll pull my trimmer in just to show you that I really did it, and cut off the 1/2 inch, and you do that on both strips of silver, and then what you can do is just lay them across each other and make a plus sign that way. Just hit the center squares together. As you see there, I'm putting some glue, and we'll just glue those into a plus sign. Now we get to do the decorating. Each one of those little pieces, sides, get some form of decoration, and that makes it such a neat explosion box. It doesn't have to be a lot. It can be if you want it to be. I made these little squares with some wheels, if you've ever worked with a wheel, but you can use any kind of a stamp. The music was a wheel, the film was a wheel, and then that other piece of French writing there was a background stamp. And I'm going to take my punches and punch a little half circle out, so I'll have a tab whereby I can slide something down. Now this one down into it. This is a bigger hole punch, so I'm taking a little more, not a hole punch, but it really is a circle punch, and taking a little more time to line that up, and it'll have a larger opening. And now I'm going to start making some of the parts for the black. I'm putting white on black, and you'll see as we go along, but I'm measuring up not half, but a third, and making a score line, and that will be a little envelope type thing that'll hold something. You'll see it. And then another design I'm going to do on some of the other sides is this little punch that's kind of like lightning, just to add some interest, and they will go opposite each other, and you will see that. But now I'm going to put the black pieces together that I made the little tabs and cut the wedges. Now I let the glue dry, so it's been drying. It's Tombow Monomulti glue, which is repositionable if you let it dry, and that way you can pull something up if you have to. Now don't worry about that white marking on that black paper, because we're going to cover it up. And I was really getting low on black paper, so I had to go ahead and use that. Now here's the little flat piece that I had that I'm folding up to make kind of an envelope, a pocket, that's what I should say. I had a little strip of black, and there you see I'm putting something in the pocket. I wrapped it around, put glue on it, wrapped it around to the back, and I'm gluing it onto the black base, one of the sides. And then here comes another piece of white. This is going to be the white layer. So there are the two that I cut out together. Here come the sides with their tabs, gluing them down, 3 of them, just like the black except smaller. And now I'm going to decorate the white layer. I took some red, made a little pocket there, and I'm writing favorite film. And someone can put in that pocket, that's going to be the title of that one. I'm letting it glue, so I'll put it aside. And now the glue is dry. I'm going to put it down. And I'm going to slip a piece of green paper behind there, because it all starts kind of running together. And this way you can see the white. That red strip I simply punched with a hole punch. Just for fun, if there's nothing to it. This is another wheel stamp that I have, and it has stars on it. So I put this little sign up there that says wishing you the best. And it has a star on it, so I'll put a little punched star down at the bottom. Now I'm going back to my red pocket. The other things have dried, so they're repositionable. I'm putting on this film strip, and I'll put on the little heading that says favorite film. And if you know this person's favorite film, you could write it in, but this gives them something to do. They can go back and write in what it is, or put a picture of it, or a ticket stub, whatever they want to do. Here's the French writing and the musical notes, score, I guess you would call it, and then a little white sheet of paper where I wrote favorite song. And so they can write their favorite song on that, or maybe a concert ticket, or a picture of their favorite singer or band. Okay, now I'm going to go back and finish decorating that bottom layer. Sorry that it got out of order, but I was letting these dry. and I had to give a little thought to what else I wanted to do, and I decided to make a little open booklet so they can open that up if they want a private note, or just if you wanted to write a private note, to you with love kind of thing, or the best whatever ever. And so I'm letting that dry. I have another little note there that says, you're one of the good ones. And then that's the other little pocket. You could either put the red tab in, or I just took a little banner there with a circle, put them together just for interest, just for color, just to draw your eye to it. I'm going to go back and glue this little peekaboo window there. And so now we have that with the, I like that little touch of khaki color in there. You could write a note complete. I'll leave that page blank. You can write or glue anything you want on that. Up above the little hole punched strip, I put down a little poem there that you'll see it up close in a minute. And then on the other solid red sheet, I'm going to attach some little white pieces of paper that I'm punching here with this punch. It has a kind of an office look or a student look, a tablet look, and I'm going to literally staple that, which adds to the office student look. Staple that on. They can use that as a notepad. They could write anything they wanted to on that. So again, it's just interest. Okay, now we're to the red layer. We've done the black layer and the white layer. Now we're to the red layer. And there's the French script. Gluing it down, putting a heart. I kind of have a heart or a star theme here. Just a solid black sheet of paper. If they had a picture of a favorite pet, something like that, they wanted to glue onto that. This is just a strip. There's stars again. And this one I think says favorite photo. Or just photo. And slide that on there. Here is just another strip or bracket that says happy. That could be happy anything. Happy first apartment, happy first college day, happy first high school day, you know, whatever you wanted, first job. And or happy big special date. So gluing that on, we have the black layer, the white layer, the red layer. And now we're coming up to the silver. Since it's two strips, all I had to do was put glue on the center square, which is the base. Glue that on there, and now we'll start to decorate this. I kept these decorations rather simple because it's a small area, and they might want to put something of their own on there. This little tag, this little round tag, I glued a saying on there. It says, when I count my blessings, I count you twice. I had to go off and trim around it to make it circular. And I'm setting that aside to dry. Now here is another little saying, the only touch of blue I have in this, and it says, those who bring sunshine to the lives of others cannot keep it from themselves. John Berry. And then this little strip says, wishing you the sweetest day ever. And I backed it with black. Again, they could put anything they want on that. You could even tell them the glue is repositionable if they wanted to take it off and put it somewhere else. This is a die I had for hearts. Put the little word wish on there, and that could mean a multiple of things. I'm going to put a red heart back on that, but I'm going to set this glue aside for just a second and let it dry. And then I'm going to hole punch with this little 16th inch punch and tie the little hanging tag down. They can take it off if they want to or not. There is a little touch of glue back there, but it would come off very easily because it is repositionable. So when you put it on there, you kind of have to line it up a little bit. Try to let equal amounts of color show from the previous page. And but it's not hard to do, and honestly, they are not going to sit there and measure, so they will be so tickled. There is the red heart glued on. Again, room for more things. Ticket stub, candy wrapper, gum wrapper. I remember people used to save stuff like that if it was from someone special. So there you go. it is done. I will take you layer by layer. I'll start you with the black layer and the pocket with the little cute banner, the saying you're one of the good ones, the envelope or the shutter type window. Now we're going to the white, which again you could put anything on that, the tablet paper, the favorite film, the little saying. Still around the corner there may wait a secret road. Let me see if I can find it for you. Or a secret gate. And then we're going to all the other things, the music, the photo, the happy, just the pocket with the, that you could glue something onto that, the other pocket, and then there are the ones we just finished. And it takes a little bit of time, but I think it would be such a neat surprise to anyone receiving this. It would just show how much you cared, that you would put that kind of energy into it. So, and thought, and time. So, when you fold that up, now you need a little lid to hold it all together. And so, I took an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and I made do with that 8.5 inch measurement. I had to take the 5 out of the center. You could have 5 and an eighth if you wanted to, but mine fit just fine. 5 inch for the size of the box. What was left over was 3.5, so that came to 1 3/4 inch on either side. So for the flap coming down, the edge of the lid of the box, or I should say the edges. So anyway, I went back and trimmed off the extra from the 11 inch. I'm folding all of those, or I'm scoring them and then burnishing the edges to that lid. And on each side, you need to make a cut. And choose whichever corner you want, but go up to the fold line. Keep it consistent. And then you have your 4 cuts, and I'm sorry that's off camera right now, but you fold that little tab in, put some glue on it, and attach it to the other side. It's that simple. You could make a million of these a day, just kidding, but you know, they're simple. I put these clips on there to let them dry. This could be a tray. You can make any size you wanted to, any thickness of cardstock you wanted to make it, give it more sturdiness. So anyway, they're all on there. I would let them dry and get nice and secure, but I'm in a hurry here, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm pulling my box up, taking off the clips, and I'm starting on one side and kind of capturing it there and then sliding it over to the other side, and it fit in like a dream. I was really surprised. So with just leftovers, I had a piece of black. I wanted to decorate the top a little bit, so I cut out a rectangle. I put out a little strip of the silver. Simple, but there you have it. When you take the lid off, look at the explosion of color as well as content, and it just makes you want to just keep going back and back. Now, I wasn't thrilled with that piece of sewing thread that I used for my little tag, so I had some really nice silver thread, very, very thin. So I went back and put that silver through and tying a bow. And when I get through with that and get it on there, I'll go back and clip off ever so carefully that sewing thread so I don't cut the silver. Now there's one final touch to this. To put something in the center of the box for fun. And I have a little cellophane or a glycine bag, whatever they are. I had some lifesavers. I wanted to do that. I didn't want any kind of candy that would melt. So the lifesavers are individually wrapped, as well as being in the bag, as well as just being simple and cute and colorful. And so I got some black ribbon, the very, very thin ribbon, tied a knot in it. Oh, actually not a knot. I tied a bow. and it will sit ever so nicely in the center of that box. So not only do you open it and get all the memories, you will have a neat little treat in there. You could put anything you wanted to. If someone was a sewer and you wanted to put a thimble, or something that would mean something to somebody that was small enough that would fit in there, you could really personalize it. But there you go. There's the lid back on. And I'm sneaking it in there. Sometimes if those lids, the sides kind of push in, if you just turn it on its side and tap it lightly on the tabletop, those lids will fall back out. So there it is now, the lid coming off with the candy in there. And by the way, that poem back there a while ago, it wasn't a poem, but yes it is. Still around the corner there may wait a new road or a secret gate. I didn't mean to leave you hanging on that. But here are the still shots. I hope you enjoyed. There'll be some videos at the end that you might like to look at, and a subscribe button or a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. I really hope you did, and I hope you'll give it a try. It took me a long time to want to try it, but I'm so glad I did. So have a great day. Thanks so much for being here. See you soon.